Welcome students. I am Subodh Kumar, Assistant Professor, BCA Department, Jamshedpur Cooperative College. In today's session, we are going to learn Java packages. This is for BCA semester 4th student. So, first of all, see what is packages in Java. A Java package is a group of similar types of classes, interfaces, and subpackages. Okay. Packages can be considered as data encapsulation or data adding. It means packages implements or provides the feature of encapsulation, abstraction, and data hiding. Okay. Now let us see the advantages of package, or see why packages are used in Java. The first point is it prevents naming conflicts. For example, there can be with the employee, but using package we can have same class name in two packages. Suppose college.staff.csc.employee and college.staff.ee.employee. The last term employee is the name of the class. Okay. The second point is making searching or locating and uses of classes, interfaces, enumeration, and annotations easier. Okay. Third point is packages providing controlled access. Okay? It provides controlled access using various accessibility or visibility mode such as protected and default have package level access control. A protected member is accessible by classes in the same package and its subclasses. A default member without any access specifier is called default member, is accessible by classes in the same package only. Okay, a default member cannot be accessed by the classes of other packages. Now the fourth point is Java package is used to categorize the classes and interfaces so that they can be easily maintained. Okay, so using packages we can define different sets of classes in different packages. Okay, using or accessing system packages. There are two ways or methods for accessing classes and interfaces stored in a system package or any other user defined package. The first one is using fully qualified class name, and the second one is using import statement. Now let us see the first method, that is using the fully qualified class name. It can be done by using a package name containing the class and then appending the class name to it using the dot operator. This method of accessing packages class is the easiest and best method when we have to access the class only once, or when we need not have to access any other classes of the package. For example, to access or refer a class scanner of util package, we can write as java.util.scanner and the object name is sc and equals to new java.util.scanner and pass system.in into the constructor of the scanner class. Okay. Here in this example we have used a fully qualified class name, that is java.util.scanner. Okay. It says or it means scanner is the class of util subpackage of Java package. Okay, so the second method, that is using import statement. If we import the package java.util in the beginning, then we can use only the class name after the import statement in the program. Okay, so using import statement can be used to import a single class or all the classes of a package. It must appear at the top of the source file before any class declaration. Okay. Let us see the example one. Importing only one class of a package. Suppose we want to import only one class, scanner class of util package. We have to write import java.util.scanner. Now the example 2 is suppose we want to import all the classes of the util package. We can write import java.util.asterisk. Okay, here asterisk means all the classes of the package util. Okay. Now let us see what is sub packages. Okay, packages that are inside another package are called sub packages. These are not imported by default. They have to imported they have to import we have to import them explicitly. Okay? Also, members of a sub package have no access privilege. That is, they are considered as different package for protected and default access specifier. Okay? Now let us see how we import a sub package. Okay? Here in the example, event is a sub package of AWT package. So we have to write import java.awt.event. Also we can say AWT is the sub package of Java. So Java is the main package. Within it, AWT is the sub package, and event is the sub package of AWT sub package. Okay, here event is the sub package of package AWT, which itself is a package of Java package. Okay, now let us see the types of packages in Java. Okay. In Java we have two types of packages: user defined packages and inbuilt or predefined packages, or Java API packages. Okay, inbuilt packages or Java API packages and user defined packages. Now first of all, let us see what is built-in packages. These packages consist of a large number of classes grouped into different packages according to their functionality, which are part of Java API. API means application programming interface. Some of the commonly used built-in packages are java.lang. It contains the language support classes, that is classes which defines primitive data types such as integer, float, etc. Math operations, math class, system class, etc. This package is automatically imported. Okay? It means we need not explicitly need to import java.lang package. Okay, the second one is java.io package. IO means input output. It contains classes for supporting input output operations such as input stream reader, buffer reader, data input stream, IO exception, etc. The third one is java.util package. It contains utility classes or helper classes such as scanner class, array class, vector class, linked list, array list, calendar, collections, date, dictionary, stack, etc. Okay. Fourth one is java.applet, that is applet package. It contains classes for creating applets, for example applet. The fifth one is java.awt. It contains classes for implementing the components of graphical user interface like buttons, menus, text field, combo buttons, etc. Okay, choice, frames, labels, text field, window, border layout, checkbox, font, color, graphics, image, menu. All these classes are available in AWT, that is Abstract Windows Toolkit package. The sixth one is java.net package. It contains classes for supporting network operations. Some of the important class of net packages: URL, URL connection, etc. And the next package, which is this a package of AWT package, is event. It provides interface and classes for dealing with the different types of events. For example, action listener, action event, mouse event, and key event classes. So these are some of the important built-in packages and their classes. In the diagram you can see the Java package and these are packages lang, util, AWT, and important class which are defined in these packages. Now the second one is user defined packages. Okay, so these are packages that are defined by the user using package statement. Okay, now let us see how we can create a user defined package. To create a package, we must declare a name of the package using the package keyword followed by a package name. The package statement must be the first statement in a Java source file. Then we define the classes which we want to be part of the package. Now let us see the syntax. The syntax is package, then package name. This is the package statement. and then the definition of various classes which we want to define within the package. And we have to note that the package must have a public class. Okay? A public class of the package can be accessed for using the package. Okay, the source file must be saved in a folder with package name, so the after compilation the class file located in the same folder. Okay, the source file must be saved with public class name only. Okay, there must be only one public class in source file. Okay, so if you want to put or define multiple classes in a package, then only one class will be defined as public, and we have to save that file using that public class name. Okay, so this is the syntax for the package statement. Now let us see the example of creating a package. In this example, I am creating a package JCC having a class BCA. Okay. Now the step one is create a folder JCC in the source directory. Let us see, our source directory is Java code under C drive. Okay, so in Java code directory we have to create a folder named JCC. JCC is the name of the package, so we have to create the folder with. Okay, now the step 2 is create source file. Now we want to define a class BCA in the package JCC, so we have to create a public class BCA in bca.java file. Okay, now here we can see the package statement is written in the beginning of the source file. Okay, package, then space, then JCC. JCC is the name of the package. Now the definition of the class is given: public class BCA, and this class contains only one function, which is print function. The function must be defined as public so that it can be accessed from the package. Okay, so public void print, and a message is printed from the print function, that is system.out.println BCA. Okay, now the step 3 is compiling the source file. Okay, the source file is compiled similar to any other Java file as Javac, then file name bc.java, or this will generate bc.class file in JCC directory. Okay, now let us see how can we use or access the package which we have created. To use or access the BCA class of the package JCC, we have to import JCC package as import jcc.bc or import jcc.asterisk. Now let's see the program to access this package. The first statement is import statement, import jcc.bca. So this statement will import the BCA class of our user defined package JCC. Okay, the class name is test JCC, and in the main function we have created an object B of class BCA which is defined in the package JCC, and using this object B we have called the function print, b.print. Okay, when we execute this program, the print function will be called of BCA function, and the output will be given as BCA. Okay, so this way we can create our user defined package, and we can define a class in that package, and in the class we can define various functions which can be accessed by importing the class, and we can access all the functions of that class. Okay, now I am showing the program for creating and using the package. So first of all we have to create a directory named JCC in my working Java directory, that is Java code. So open C drive, then Java code folder. Here it is. Now create the folder GCC. Okay. Now we have to write our source code named bca.java in this GCC directory. Okay. So I am using Notepad to write the source code. In the beginning we have to write the package statement, package, then package name GCC. Okay. Save, first of all save the file in Java code GCC directory, bca.java. Now start the class. Class will be defined as public class BCA. Okay, and we are going to define a function print, which should be public void print, and display a message system.out.println. Suppose you want to display BC. Now save the file. Now we have to compile the file bc.java. So open command prompt, go to Java code directory, and then move to GCC directory which we have created. Now compile the bc.java file. bc.java file is saved in GCC directory. So java c bca.java. Now the class file will be generated in GCC directory. We can see using dir command. Here we have created bc.java file, and bc.class file is generated within this directory. Okay. Now we can use this package having class bc. So create a file, test GCC. The test GCC will be in Java code directory. Okay, so go back to the Java code directory, start a new program. First of all, we have to import the BCA class of GCC package. So import gcc.bca. Okay. Now save, first of all save the program. This program should be saved in our source directory Java code. Test gcc.java. Now start the class test gcc. Start the main function public static void main string args. Let it arguments. Now define an object of class BCA. So BCA b equals to new BCA. Now call the function print from the BC class b.print. Save the program. Now go back to the command prompt in the Java code directory, compile the file java c test gcc.java. Now we have an error. Correct the error. It should be void. Now again save the file, go back to the command prompt, compile the file Now we have successfully compiled. Now execute the program java test gcc, and here is the output. So in this simple way we can define new package, and we can define various classes in it. In the next lesson, I am going to explain how we can add more classes to an existing package, and how can we hide a class which is already defined in a package. So that's for today. See you in next lesson. Thanks for watching.